All right, I just want to talk about this Bill Cosby thing for just a second. All right, so like Bill Cosby supposedly like roofied or put something in the drink of like 60 women, right? But people don't understand. Okay, so like say people who sell like cocaine and methamphetamines and benzos and Klonopin, whatever drug you could think of. How come nobody is asking the question, who sold Bill Cosby these blue pills? You know what I mean? Who was his pusher? Because if this man, whoever sold Bill Cosby these pills, he wasn't just selling to Bill Cosby. And you got to remember that Bill Cosby didn't manufacture his own drugs. So somebody manufactured those drugs and then sold them to Bill, and then Bill gave those to women. But whoever gave these pills to Bill, supposedly, Bill is a high-profile man, right? So he's obviously selling to celebrities. What other celebrities was this man selling to? What other politicians? What other businessmen? Did he sell to anyone at the New York Times? Did he sell to anyone at like Time Magazine? Did he sell to anyone on Wall Street or maybe in New York? This man, you just trying to tell me that somebody's out there selling blue pills from like the 1960s all the way into like 2014, never gets caught, and he only has one customer, which is like Bill Cosby? That's impossible. He has to have other customers and clients. Now, I don't even really believe what occurred is true concerning Bill Cosby. I think they're just trying to tarnish his image. Blacks did a lot of good for the community. Somehow he pissed off one of the higher-ups, just like Michael Jackson did. He must have said something about the people that run and control media, and they got aggravated, and they're like, you know, they had this trump card of like all these like white women ready to take him down in case Bill acted up, and Bill did something that was offensive, and so they decided to play their trump card, which was a ton of white women, and throw in a few token black females. So I think Bill was getting laid and Bill was getting paid, and those women are upset about that, probably because he didn't want a relationship with them, because they know that like black males have like high sex drives, and any intelligent male is probably not going to want a relationship. And I just think that that's weird that none of these talk shows are bringing up who sold Bill these pills. Who sold Bill the pills? That's what I want to know. Who's Bill's pusher? They should ask that in court. I want to know. Because somebody sold this man these blue pills. And then not only that, I think it's kind of weird that one lady that looks like a man, why is she taking 3 pills from a guy that she hardly... I mean, it's probably Bill Cosby. People are like, well, she hardly knows him. No, Bill Cosby's pretty famous. We know Bill Cosby. But 3 pills is really excessive. It's just like if you have a headache, right, and you take like a Tylenol or an ibuprofen, generally you're not going to take 3 of them because that will be poisoning. And then she said, oh, I was trying to take these pills to relax. Well, we know in the 60s, there was a big drug culture back then. People were doing like LSD and marijuana and I don't know what all those drugs are, but you know they were into drugs. So I guess it wouldn't be too uncommon for someone to take 3 ecstasy type pills. Obviously, she should have known that she was trying to get into something freaky if Bill was giving her 3 pills. What do you mean relax? You don't take no pills to relax. That's what back massages and baths and reading books is for, not taking pills. Bill was into some freaky stuff. I mean, I'm saying if he did do that, and she probably was into some freaky stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Like, she probably mad that the thing is, she's mad that he didn't want a relationship with her and that it was a one-time thing, and they're trying to turn it into like this rape thing. Rape is when you grab someone and you pin them down and force them down against their will. Rape is not both of y'all take pills, both of y'all hump, you fall in love, he don't love you, and he moves on to the next woman, that's not rape. That's why that woman don't look traumatized, and they're trying to push all this like feminism, female, men are these horrible creatures. Society has to understand men are horny. All right, so the penis is a giant clitoris. The penis is the size of a, the clitoris is a giant penis. It's massive. A female's clitorises were the size of penises. Females would be raging sex addicts. And especially black males, they know that black males have high testosterone and high sex drives. And if you're a white woman and you mess around with a black male, you know what time it is. So let's not act like this is strange or bizarre. Black men have been like this since whatever gray alien created them, made them that way. So if anybody who doesn't know, now you know. If you're running up on a black man, you're running up on an excessively horny creature. They even said that in these slave movies. They'd be like, oh, black man he does have a high sex drive. Black female too. So if you're a white woman, you run up on that, just know what you're getting into. He's probably going to want more than one of you unless you have an extremely high sex drive too. And so I just see this as an opportunity to try and use sex as a weapon to basically hang Bill Cosby and tarnish his legacy. Bill shouldn't have never been messing with white women from the get-go, because that's how they roll when they get pissed off. They try and use the system against you. He should have just stuck with chocolate. In fact, I forgot to say too, like, they got to understand that Bill Cosby, what's up with all these bills, man, being sexual? But the point is that, like, Bill Cosby, okay, is a descendant of a slave. So Bill Cosby is actually the good guy. And when you're the descendant of a slave and the act of slavery has not been righted, they have not righted that wrong, Bill can't do no wrong. So Bill is just being further persecuted. You see what I'm saying? When you clear up that slave stuff first, then you can worry about whether Bill is some type of roofie rapist. And then you got to remember that it's still America's fault, because America's the one that supplied a former, I wouldn't say he's a former slave, but the descendant of a slave. He's still a slave. America supplied him with the drug, the 2 pills, the blue pills. So where is he getting all these blue pills? If this man gave 60 women pills and 3 each, that's 60 times 3. What's 6 times 3? That's 180 pills, minus the ones that we don't even know got caught that he gave pills. And we don't even know how much these pills cost. Where is Bill Cosby getting these pills? That's what I want to know. That needs to be brought up in court, because the guy that gave him the pills needs to be prosecuted too. You can't just jump on Bill Cosby and ignore his supplier. And then these women were buying drugs. If they're buying pills and they're not prescription pills off the shelf, these women is drug. Bill Cosby slept with 60 drug users. And these are probably the same type of people in the 1960s that did LSD, did, what do you call it? I don't even know all the drugs that they did in the 60s. What else did they do? Marijuana, cocaine, I don't know, pill popping. They were drug users. These ain't just innocent women, like that ain't no stranger to danger. We're talking about the 60s, sexual revolution and drug culture. They're not no stranger to danger. So when you in there with what's that dude's name? Hendrix, that guitar black dude, and he whip out some cocaine or some pills, you know what time it is, man. This man's trying to get freaky. And you got to remember, these females were in their youth. They're not these 40, 50, 60-year-old women that you're looking at now. These were young girls, and young girls are horny. And they saw pills, and they're like, she's talking about they were going to relax her. She's talking about relax for sex. And she thought these pills were like ecstasy pills, like in the 60s or whenever they took them. She thought that like female Viagra pills, she thought it was going to make her more horny. That's what she was really looking at. And then when he decided, when he didn't want to have a relationship with her, they got mad. And when Bill Cosby, you know what I mean? Like, he was helping the black community, and he pissed off the higher ups, the people that control these networks. and they decided to abuse the law and abuse people's intelligence, and basically make this man out to be some kind of dirtbag. But the thing is, if you want to get to prosecuting, you got to prosecute all these women that were doing illegal drugs, because they weren't buying over-the-counter, prescription medicine to relax. They were just taking pills from. That'd be like if I was like, man, I need to relax, and I walked up to my best friend. I just took some pills. That's classified as drug use, because I could. Some of those drugs are methamphetamines. I could become addicted to those drugs. So focus. Don't be dumb. Don't let the media, you know what I'm saying? Like, the media is there just as a guiding mechanism, but you got to look deep into things. They always try and call people conspiracy theorists. There's no such thing as a conspiracy theorist. What they call a conspiracy theorist is a person that has what's called spatial reasoning. Spatial reasoning is the same reasoning and logic that Bobby Fischer, the chess player, would use to put an ass whooping on you. See, Bobby Fischer's father was a physicist. And so physicists are able to look into the world, they're able to look into quantum dimensions inside their head to put 2 and 2 together. What you call a conspiracy theorist is someone that has the ability to put 2 and 2 together. Just like if there's an obelisk in Washington, D.C., there's an obelisk in Great Britain, there's an obelisk at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. See, the spatial mind says, there might be a correlation between the three things. The idiot says, there's no correlation. Well, then why is there these objects there then? The spatial mind is superior to the mind that doesn't have spatial reasoning. It's like a tool that's added to your brain. So when I'm looking at Bill Cosby, I'm using a lower form of spatial reasoning. I'm saying, hey, where's this man's drug pusher? These women are